Hi Facebook, this is Maureen again. I wanted to, I'm gonna get out of there so I don't have a halo. Alright, I wanted to kind of give a better explanation of why I'm creating wool fabric, more or less just for the sake that when I say that I'm going to, after the fabric is woven, create a 16th century waistcoat, that most modern folks are like, okay, that's nice. I don't know what that is, but that's nice. I figure at the very least I'll kind of give you a general rundown of what I'm thinking, and I have an example of what I'm making as well, so that should help. The fabric was interrupted by a phone call there. The fabric itself has to function so I can basically create a garment from it. When I was talking about stripes and how the warp and weft work, this is the example fabric I was talking about. This is one that I made on the very loom that is over there. And what it is that when I change, this would have been the warp where you're seeing this stripe. These were blue warp, this was white warp, and then it varied back and forth. So I was using blue yarn as the weft yarn here, and that's why you're seeing a little bit of blue in the white. But then I changed the yarn from using the blue yarn as the weft yarn to a white yarn, which made more white. So we have our vertical stripes, and then we kind of created a big horizontal stripe before switching back again to the other color. So that's how you can create patterns within a piece of fabric that you are weaving. There are other kinds of weaving out there. This would have been tablet weaving. You would have used cards to change up your shed instead of the heddles on the heddle loom. Those move up and down to create the fabric. Basically creates more narrower kind of work. There's also inkle weaving, which is a little different. So there's all sorts of different kinds of weaving out there. I mean, you can look them up. But when you create a piece of fabric like this, and this is about 5.5 yards long is what I created this on that. I hope I can get as much from my current project as I did from this one. This one's been washed and set. I don't know what on earth I'm going to use it for yet, but I have 5 yards of blue and white striped fabric, which was great practice. It helped me better understand the mistakes I'm making in my current project, which is good. Otherwise, I think I would have had to have completely torn it out and started again. But when it comes down to it, once you create the fabric, then use a pattern for a garment, well, how does it function? The idea that when I started weaving, my idea was to understand fabric better, so when I created garments from fabric, even if I didn't weave it, but from any commercial fabric, that I'd understand how it behaved. So when I say 16th century waistcoat, that is what I am talking about. It's basically a fitted jacket that's meant to fit over a corset and a bum roll. Now this piece is one that I also made. No, I didn't embroider it, but at the very least, this was a piece where I was trying to properly fit myself better, and it actually fits pretty perfectly. The only challenge that I'm running into is the shoulders are just a tad bit snug, but that's exactly how these were supposed to fit. Not uncomfortably so, but they were supposed to be snug. So when I say 16th century waistcoat, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's fitted to the point where around the waist, because you'd have a corset underneath this plus a shirt, that it's basically fitted to the point where it sinks in around the waist and then flares out with these. They look like darts, but they're actually, there's a different name for them in period. Now, any wrinkles and ill-fitting that you're seeing is because it's on a dress dummy and not on me, but it's very difficult to try to show what a garment would look like on me while talking on Facebook. So, but that at least gets you an idea of what I am trying to create from the woven fabric. I don't know if the collar and cuffs, these shoulder points and the collar, I'm not sure if I'm going to create them out of the same fabric. These will definitely be made out of the new woven fabric that I am creating. So, but that gives you an idea of what my end goal is to hopefully create a garment like this from the woven fabric that's on my loom right now. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm very curious to see what folks have to say. Thanks again.